along the quiet, windswept coast of a remote South African village. A middle-aged man named John lives alone in a small beachside house. He's quiet, reserved, and spends his days walking the shoreline, mourning the loss of his wife and daughter from a tragic car accident years ago. The pain still lingers, visible in the scar across his forehead and in his lonely routines. One afternoon, while walking near the sea, John notices 3 people swimming. His eyes are drawn to a young girl among them, beautiful, mysterious, and much younger. Their eyes meet. She stares at him briefly, then disappears underwater. He quietly walks away. The next morning, as John strolls near his house, he hears a girl crying. Curious, he follows the sound to a small boat where a young girl sits, wrapped in a blanket and visibly upset. It's the same girl from the beach. Her name is Jackie. John gently asks what's wrong. He notices her red eye and asks, "Who hit you?" Jackie, defensive and guarded, tells him to leave her alone. She doesn't trust him. When John offers help, maybe eyes for her eye, she snaps, accusing him of stalking her. John insists he just wants to help, but Jackie lashes out emotionally. Her walls are high, and trust does not come easy. John tries to de-escalate the tension. He offers her money, guessing she may be in trouble. Jackie, seeing an opportunity, demands a bottle of wine and $500, or she'll scream and accuse him of hurting her. Alarmed, John rushes to the store and buys the wine, but when he returns, Jackie is gone. Later, John returns home and finds Jackie's cap hanging outside his house. He looks around, confused. She's nowhere in sight. The next day, while looking through old things, John finds a swimsuit that belonged to his late daughter. Memories flood in. He begins to imagine Jackie as the daughter he lost, creating an emotional illusion that comforts his lonely soul. That evening, John sees Jackie again, this time with her father and brother. He approaches carefully and asks if she's okay, especially about the injury. Jackie says nothing, afraid and withdrawn. Her father, noticing the stranger talking to his daughter, questions her. "Who is he? How do you know him?" Jackie doesn't answer. She's clearly afraid of her father. That night, Jackie's father comes to John's house unexpectedly and invites him to dinner. John is surprised but learns that Jackie told her father that John tried to help her. Out of politeness or suspicion, the father extends the invitation. At dinner, John observed the family closely. Jackie's father is stern, traditional, and extremely religious. He dominates the conversation, often interrupting or scolding his children. Jackie's brother tries to joke, but the father reacts angrily, shouting. Jackie, frustrated, finally speaks up. "Why do you always yell at us? Why do you have to control everything?" The room goes silent. Then she turns to John and says, "Come on, I need to get my cap from your house." She insists they leave immediately. John is confused but goes along with her. Outside, the night air is cool and the stars shine brightly over the dark forest. This region is quiet, isolated, and filled with secrets. As they walk, Jackie asks John for a cigarette. He hesitates. "Do your parents know you smoke?" Jackie laughs bitterly. "Who cares? Just give me one." John gently tells her that her father seemed worried. Jackie explodes. "You don't know anything about us. You don't know what it's like." He calms her down and says, "If you ever want to talk about it, I'll listen." Jackie hesitates. Her eyes soften. For the first time, she feels someone might care. Then, slowly, Jackie begins to share. She tells John about the night burglars broke into their house. They didn't just rob them. They tried to assault her. Her mother fought back, trying to protect her, and they killed her. Tears stream down Jackie's face as she remembers a horror. Since that night, everything changed. Her family was broken. Her father became colder. The pain never left. John listens in silence, moved deeply. Then Jackie notices a scar on his head. "What happened to you?" she asks. John opens up. He tells her about the accident, how he dozed off while driving, how his car went off a cliff, how he survived, but his wife and daughter didn't. "I can never forgive myself," he says. "It was my fault." The shared sorrow brings them closer. Two broken souls, carrying invisible wounds. beginning to understand one another. Back at John's home, Jackie heads inside to get her cap. When John brings it to her, she's lying on the bed. She looks at him and asks softly, "Do you have a girlfriend?" John chuckles sadly. "No." Jackie stares at him. "Then can I stay here with you?" John, startled, answers firmly, "No, absolutely not." Jackie is hurt. As John turns to leave the room, he freezes. Jackie has undressed completely. She stands in front of him, exposed. John, shocked, immediately grabs a blanket and covers her. Jackie begins to cry. "You won't touch me because I was raped, right? That's why you don't want me." John kneels beside her, trying to calm her. She sobs harder. "It was my father who hit me. That's why I was crying on the boat. He blames me for everything." John hugs her, not with lust, but compassion. He wants to comfort her. But Jackie misreads a moment and tries to kiss him again. He pulls away gently. "You need to go home now." Jackie resists, but he insists. Eventually, she leaves. The night ends quietly. But something fragile and complicated has begun. The next morning, Jackie arrives at John's house with her maid. Her face is nervous, but calm. She tells John she's sorry for what happened the night before. "I was embarrassed. Please forgive me. I won't act like that again." John accepts her apology. Her maid leaves quietly, sensing the tension between them. Jackie then says, "There's a beautiful hiking trail nearby. Want to go?" John hesitates, but agrees. The two set off into the quiet forest. For the first time in a long while, John feels alive. Jackie, still haunted by her trauma, finds peace in the trees and the silence between them. They walk without saying much, but the bond between them deepens. As they hike, a village policeman approaches. He looks at John, cautious. "Do you know this man?" he asks Jackie. Without a pause, Jackie says, "Yes, he's a friend of my dad." The officer nods and warns them to be careful before leaving. Jackie and John reach a hilltop with a clear view of the forest and sea. Jackie sits beside John, then suddenly opens up again. "The day after those men broke into our house, my dad told me it was my fault," she says. "He said if I hadn't been wearing a skirt, maybe they would have just stolen things and left." John listens, shocked. Jackie adds, "My dad's stuck in old ways. He blames the West for everything. But I want a new life. I want to leave this place and go to the city. Will you take me with you?" She looks at him with hope and fear. John doesn't answer right away. He's overwhelmed, knowing how much Jackie is struggling, and unsure if he's the person to give her what she's asking for. That night, Jackie becomes more affectionate. They walk back through the dark forest together. In that lonely moment, they grow closer, physically and emotionally. For a moment, they forget the world and its rules. But danger is near. Jackie's father and brother are out boating nearby. Their voices carry through the air. John freezes. "They might have seen us," he says. They rush back to John's home. Panic sets in. John knows that if they were seen, the situation could become dangerous. He begins packing his bags. "I need to leave before sunrise," he whispers. Just then, a knock at the door. Jackie's father's outside. John takes a deep breath, expecting confrontation. But surprisingly, Jackie's father only says, "Come to dinner tonight, then leave tomorrow morning." Relieved, John agrees. Jackie had told her father that John helped her before. That may have saved him, for now. At dinner, Jackie is quiet but playful. She rubs her foot against John's under the table, trying to flirt. John tries to ignore it. He tells the family he's leaving for Durban in the morning. Jackie jokes, "What will you do there, get remarried? Find a British wife online." She laughs, but there's pain behind her words. "You're old and boring," she adds with a smirk. Jackie's father is embarrassed by her behavior. He apologizes to John. But behind Jackie's teasing is real sadness. She doesn't want John to leave. This may be her only chance to escape. The night ends quietly. John leaves the dinner table with a heavy heart. The next morning, just after sunrise, Jackie shows up at his house again. She doesn't say much. She just looks at him. He understands. They kiss, and for a while they feel close, intimate. But outside, someone is watching. Jackie's mate has arrived unexpectedly. She sees them together. Her expression is hard to read. Shock, maybe judgment, maybe fear. John sees her too, and everything changes. "We have to be careful," he says. He rushes to pack his things, determined to leave immediately. But before he can, Jackie's father returns, this time in distress. "My son, Simon, is missing," he says. "I need your help." John pauses. He's ready to go, but he can't ignore this. He nods. "Okay, I'll stay one more day." They search through the forest, calling Simon's name. Jackie puts up missing posters around town. Everyone looks worried. After a long day, they find nothing. That evening, the same policeman from before picks John up on the road. They talk for a bit. Then the officer says, "You and Jackie seem close. I like her. Will you talk to her about marrying me?" John is stunned. He doesn't answer directly. Her brother's missing. It's not the right time. He gets out of the car and walks away. That night, the village assumes Simon ran away. Maybe he couldn't take the strict home life anymore. Maybe he'll never come back. Jackie is heartbroken. Her father grows more controlling. The house is tense. No one talks much. John tells Jackie's father, "I'll leave tomorrow." Later that night, he sees Jackie sitting with the same policeman, watching TV. John feels strange, a mix of jealousy and concern. The next morning, John walks to the lake to swim. After some time, Jackie joins him. Her eyes are tired. "I can't stay here anymore," she says. "Please take me with you. I'll go to Durban. I want to be with you. I can't live with my father." Before John can respond, the policeman appears. Moments later, Jackie's father arrives. He sees the two of them together, and his anger explodes. John tries to explain. "We were just talking." Jackie's father doesn't believe him. "If a man talked to your daughter like this, what would you do?" he shouts. John backs away. "Let me get my things." But the policeman pulls a gun. Jackie's father grabs a stick and strikes John across the face. Bleeding, John runs through the forest toward home. When he arrives, he finds the front gate open and a wild baboon sitting there. Moments later, Jackie's father shows up. He's furious. A fight breaks out between them. They wrestle, punch, and fall to ground. Suddenly, the baboon leaps at Jackie's father, biting him viciously. John, though injured, grabs a stick and beats the animal away. He kills it. At that moment, Jackie and the policeman arrive. They're shocked to see what happened. Jackie looks terrified. John is covered in blood. Her father is badly hurt. John helps carry him to the police van. They prepare to go to the hospital. As John steps back, the policeman holds a gun to his head. "If you're still here tomorrow, I'll shoot you myself," he warns. Jackie watches this unfold. Her world is crumbling. On one side, her injured father. On the other, the man she has grown to love. She wants to go with John, but she can't leave her father like this. Tears roll down her cheeks. She steps into the van. John watches her leave, heart heavy. He understands. This is goodbye. The next morning is gray and still. Rain taps lightly on John's tin roof. He hasn't slept. Jackie's teary face, the policeman's warning, and the image of Jackie's injured father swirl in his mind like a storm. It's time to leave. He knows it. John packs his things carefully. Clothes, cash, a few pictures of his wife and daughter. He pauses, staring at the framed photo of his daughter. For a moment, his eyes well up, but he pulls himself together. He leaves the photo on the table and zips the bag. Before he can leave, a knock echoes through the house. It's Jackie, alone, wet from the rain. She doesn't say anything at first. Her eyes are red from crying. "I just wanted to say goodbye." She finally whispers. John nods. "You should be with your father. He needs you now." Jackie steps forward and wraps her arms around him. They stay like that for a long moment. Then she steps back and says, "I'm sorry for everything." John doesn't respond. He only gives her a small smile. She walks away into the mist. He watches her go until she disappears. Later, as John loads his bags into his car, He hears a soft thump near the driveway. He walks over and sees a small box. Inside is the hat Jackie left at his house days ago, the one she lost by the boat. Taped to the box is a note in Jackie's handwriting. "Thank you for trying to understand me." John sits in the car for a while. He doesn't start the engine. He stares out at the wet road ahead. Across town, Jackie sits at the hospital beside her father's bed. His eyes are closed and machines beep steadily. The policeman is outside in the hallway, watching through glass. Jackie leans forward and whispers to her unconscious father, "I'm staying because I owe you something, but I don't belong here anymore." Back at the house, John finally drives off. The road is slick. Trees blur past windows. It feels like he's leaving more than a place. It feels like he's leaving a chapter of himself behind. As he drives toward Durban, he pulls over once to rest. He finds a quiet overlook facing the ocean and watches the crashing waves. The sky is heavy with clouds. He closes his eyes and sees Jackie's face, then his daughter's. It's as if both are layered in his memory now. Part comfort, part regret. Meanwhile, in the village, life continues. Jackie returns home from the hospital and finds the policeman sitting at the porch. "Your father will recover," he says, "but he'll need time." Jackie nods but says nothing. She looks distant. The policeman continues, "You're special, Jackie. You don't belong here, do you?" She looks at him, surprised. "I can't promise anything fancy," he says, "but I'll look after you." Jackie forces a smile but doesn't answer. Later, she walks to the beach alone. She sits on the same boat where she had cried days ago. The place feels like a circle closing in. Every part of this village has a memory attached to pain. As the wind picks up, Jackie sees a couple walking by. Young, carefree, laughing. For a brief second, she imagines herself and John in their place, walking freely without shame or judgment. But reality comes crashing back. Suddenly, her phone rings. It's a message from John. "You deserve more than sadness. Take care of yourself." Jackie stares at the screen for a long time. She doesn't reply. Back on the road, John reaches the city. Durban is noisy, busy, and full of life. He rents a small apartment near the coast and starts settling in. He visits a local library, applies for a job at a museum, and tries to rebuild something like a normal life. But nothing feels quite right. Every time he hears laughter, sees young people together, or walks by a beach, he thinks of Jackie. He writes letters to her, but never sends them. The drafts pile up in a drawer. Days pass, then weeks. One morning, John receives a letter. There's no return address. Inside is a simple drawing, a hilltop, trees, and two small figures sitting side by side. Under it is written, "I remember." John smiles, but his eyes fill with tears. He folds the paper gently and places it inside his journal. Back in the village, Jackie walks to her father's bedside again. He is awake now. His voice is weak but clear. "I failed you," he says. "I tried to protect you my way, but maybe I was wrong." Jackie holds his hand. She doesn't say anything. Her forgiveness is quiet, but real. She starts packing her things, small steps, but meaningful. Books, clothes, the drawing supplies she once hid. Her eyes no longer look lost. She has direction now. She writes a letter of her own. "Maybe one day I'll see the ocean from your side." The screen fades to black. Weeks pass. John's days in Durban grow routine. Morning walks, coffee at the same small cafe, evenings by the sea. He tries to forget, but memories are stubborn. Jackie's voice, her smile, her story, they linger in the quiet moments. One morning, he walks past a bookstore and stops. In the window, a book titled Healing from the Past catches his eye. He buys it, flips through pages at the cafe, and reads lines that feel too close to home. Some people enter our lives not to stay, but to remind us we're still alive. Meanwhile, in the village, Jackie stands by the edge of the dock, holding her bag. Her father, walking slowly with a cane, joins her. "You're leaving?" he asks. Jackie nods. "I need to. I'll come back to visit." Her father, surprisingly, smiles. "Good. You were never meant to stay stuck here." They hug. It's brief but warm. This time, there's understanding. She boards a small boat heading to the mainland. As it pulls away, she looks back once at the village, the mountains, the memories. Then she turns forward. John, now working part-time at the museum, shows guests around exhibits. He speaks about ancient things, stories of survival, of pain and hope. Every now and then he glances at the door, half expecting someone to walk in. One afternoon, he returns home to find a postcard in the mail. It's a sketch of a boat on a calm sea. No message, just a name at the bottom, Jackie. He puts the card on the shelf, beside the photo of his daughter. The next morning, he visits a beach outside the city. Sitting on a rock, he watches the horizon. The sun rises, gold and endless. He remembers what Jackie said once, sitting beside him on that hill. I just want to live freely. In the distance, he sees a figure walking along the shoreline. A girl, her hair dancing in the wind, sketchbook in hand. He doesn't get up. He just watches. Maybe it's her. Maybe it's not. But he smiles. Because some people stay even after they've gone.